very good evening to all. Am I audible?
Hello.
A very good evening to you, sir.
Good evening. Good evening. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Thank
Let
you.
me introduce you and our platform to our participants. After that, we can begin with your presentation.
Sure. Still, I have some time, or are you going to start? It is
So
fine. Yeah. Please continue.
Yes, sir. So, a very good evening, everyone. On behalf of Team Just Agriculture and Agro-Environmental Education and Farmers Welfare Society Punjab, I, Kampur Gaur, cordially welcome you all to today's session of Agriculture 5.0, which is a 15-day international training workshop program on next level approach towards smart farming, innovations, and entrepreneurship. This program has been organized jointly by Just Agriculture Magazine, VNMKV Prabhani, Maharashtra, and Agro-Environmental Education and Farmers Welfare Society. I'm very glad to announce you that our partners for this program are more than 20, and I must congratulate in Just Agriculture for organizing such insightful training programs at regular intervals and for collaborating with such prestigious university within such short time span. So now coming to the session. Today, I feel privileged to welcome Dr. Narendra Singh Rathore, a distinguished scholar and educator in the field of agriculture, renewable energy. Before inviting Sir to deliver his lecture, let me briefly introduce Sir to our participants. Dr. Rathore holds a diverse educational background, including a BE in Agricultural Engineering and MTech in Energy Studies from IIT Delhi and a PhD from CSAUT Kanpur. His specialization in renewable energy has further positioned him as a leading expert in the field. With an illustrious career spanning 42 years, Dr. Rathore has held several key positions of authority and responsibility. Currently, he is serving as the campus director of Gitanjali Institute of Technical Studies in Udaipur. He has also served as vice chancellor of Maharana Pratap University of Agriculture and Technology, MPUAT, Udaipur from August 2019 to August 2022. His leadership extended beyond MPUAT, encompassing roles such as Vice Chancellor Mohanlal Sukhadia University and GGTU Banswara, Rajasthan. Notably, he is also the founder Vice Chancellor of SKNAU, Jobner, Rajasthan. Dr. Rathore's influence has transcended geographical boundaries too, with his involvement in multiple international training programs and visit to 13 countries. His dedication to academic excellence is mirrored in extensive research, publication, and supervision endeavors. Having supervised numerous MSc, MTech, and PhD students, his mentorship has shaped the next generation of scholars. His exceptional achievements have garnered recognition worldwide, with a total of 39 awards and fellowships, including international, national, state, societal, and institutional awards and fellowships. Dr. Rathore's research projects, which span nationally and internationally, have significantly contributed to the advancement of renewable energy technologies and innovative agricultural practices. Beyond his academic and research contributions, Dr. Rathore's initiatives in unstructured education of skill development among farmers have laid the foundation for positive change in the agricultural community. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Dr. Rathore, a luminary in the realms of academia and agricultural engineering. Dr. Rathore, you can begin with the lecture, sir.
Thank you. Good evening to one and all. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah, please. So thank you very much to Just Agriculture for giving me this opportunity to discuss some of the issues related to what are the different problems and how with the help of digital technology we can solve it. Because as far as our country situation in agriculture is concerned, we people are working on a traditional thing and some technology which are not directly related to computer and digital scenario, but they are basically some new technology, new seed has been prepared, even some new implements and some new fertilizers and things related to some climate change already been made. But as far as the use of digital technology is concerned, digital technology means a use of artificial intelligence and Internet of Things and even the blockchain technology. It has got a different type of perspectives in a present context. So first of all, let us discuss what are the different problems in our agriculture. Although we reached to highest position, as far as the grain production is concerned, if we are proudly saying that from 1947 to till date, yeah, in 1947 it was hardly a 49 million ton, and now we reached to and we have crossed 320 million ton. That and out of this 320 million ton, around 118 million ton is a rice, and 108 or 109 million tons is your wheat, and rest of the things are the other grains. So basically, we reached to the second position across the world. But still, if you see the productivity of our individual crop, if you see critically, then you will feel that still there is a great scope and we can improve. We are supposed to improve our yield or productivity. When we are talking about rice productivity, it seems to be of a on an average, because total area and total production of rice, if you compare, then it seems to be that on an average, it is our productivity is around 2.4 ton per hectare. Although in some places, some variety has been developed, which has got a very good high productivity. But I am talking about a general things which is available at the farmers level. So around 2.4 to 2.5 ton per hectare is there. As far as the wheat is concerned, in our country, we reached to the very high position as far as the total wheat is production is concerned, but this productivity seems to be on a lower side still, and it is around 3.5 ton per hectare on an average. I am saying, because if you go and see that a person having a half hectare of land, and then you calculate and even based on total production and total area shown, it gives an impression that we are not getting more than that of a average productivity in that 3.5 ton per hectare. So whereas if you compare ourselves, if you see rice, our productivity is hardly of a 2.4, but if you see China's productivity is 4.2 ton per hectare. And same thing is true with the wheat. In case if see our productivity is around 3.5 ton per hectare, but in France it is a 6.5 ton per hectare. So basically, my main concern about this giving these statistics is that our productivity and simultaneously our profitability is also not in impressive position. That's why young farmers are not coming forward to continue in this profession. So this is a very, very important task. And second problem, which is there whenever we are talking about it, is a quality of a produce which we are producing, because everybody used to say, and that's why government is also insisting that we are supposed to go for natural farming, organic farming, whereas it seems to be a very difficult to get the same type of a overall production in case it will switch on towards a natural farming. Because there are a lot of constraints. Still that particular technology, natural farming technology, is not being so well developed, and it has not been documented with the help of a research and development output. So that's why it is too early to say that we will 100% replace it. But if you see in present context, our use of insecticide and pesticides and herbicides, if you count, in 1947, it was hardly a 0.5 kg per hectare, but now it has been touched 150 kg per hectare. So just see that what type of a chemical fertilizers and insecticide and pesticide we are using. And as a result of this, quality produce we are not maintaining. Same thing is true with the milk as well. In case of milk, we are the largest producer of milk across the globe. But our its international level, its value, or if you count the total production wise, hardly of a 7 to 8% is having a international value. So that's why quality is a big concern. For that, we will have to check systematically with the help of a digital technology. Remuneration is also one of the important tasks. And one more problem which we are ignoring in present context, and that is basically sustainable development and effect because of climate change. So here basically I would like to mention that in a present context, because of climate change, the agriculture field has been affected badly. And in case if we will not do something as far as the resilience of agriculture crop is concerned, or if we will not go for adaptation of this climate change, or even if we will not go for systematically or scientifically mitigation of climate change, I afraid that there may be some more further losses, and our production and productivity will go down. So that's why we will have to see that what are the different options digitally available in order to have some mitigation technology, or it's just to have some adaptation technology of a climate change. So that is basically one major problem. And one important problem is a marketing, that we can say that or you can say trading. Although government has introduced a lot of digital solution, INAM, you must be knowing, Electronic National Agriculture Market, was launched by the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare, Government of India. But still people are not being properly educated. So under this, market intelligence is one of the important factor. And market intelligence gives an impression that a terminology which is coming in my mind, that is OPD, in market intelligence. O means a opportunity. You will have to identify a new opportunity. We are not supposed to dependent on our old market. And then P means how we can penetrate inside of it, and then how we can develop it. Quite number of solutions are available under our digital technology. As far as if you see our different factors which are responsible for growth of agriculture, one is a soil, second is a water, third is our seed, and fourth is a machinery, and fifth is a climate, and sixth is the farmer itself. In order to systematize each and everything as far as the soil is concerned, you can easily check the soil fertility with the help of a wireless sensors, and there are number of things are available. Now it has been standardized that how you can check on a real-time basis, especially your micronutrients and macronutrients, even other parameters like sulfur, or your pH value, and even your electrical conductivity, or organic carbon, which is very important. You can easily check with the help of a sensor available in a present context. And these are wireless sensor. Even with what wired sensors are available, and even you can put some sensor, as I am talking about wireless, and then you can easily check it from a distance place as well. So basically what is happening in present context as far as the soil quality, water quality is concerned, it is very cumbersome if you are going and taking a sample and then analyzing in the lab. But whereas in present context, things are so easily available, and you can easily check, and instantly you can have the result which is more reliable, more accurate, and they are also precision in nature. So that's why in a soil and water, even seed germination, you can easily check prior to this one. And even maturity indices of your final product, when it is available at the time of harvesting, you can easily check with the help of a wireless sensor. And as far as when we are talking about water scarcity, there is a formula which people used to say that if you see what the Israel people have done, they have done on the basis of a formula so-called RAID, R-A-I-D, means a rainfall harvesting, R means A means aquifer recharging, and as far as the ID is concerned, irrigation management and drainage management. And excess of water you are not supposed to drain out, and you are supposed to use a drop by drop. And that's why all modern technology nowadays, in order to run the modern technology, as soon as you will get information that some crop is going to wilt, and then you can easily start from the distance place with the help of your mobile. So that type of means accurate systems are available. And that's why as far as the food security and safety is concerned, number of sensor are available which we can go, and even we can easily detect insect and pests and diseases which is available. And as far as the labor shortage is concerned, to certain extent, there are number of solutions available, and which we can also do the exercise and with the help of a digital technology. purposely, but today I will discuss that what are the different digital technology available in present quarters. Very important thing is artificial intelligence. Sorry, people are saying that it is a subject of a computer science engineering and robust data science, or it is robot data analytics. Although this is true, but basically what is happening, you can use some of its field like machine learning and deep learning in order to monitor your system and even forecast your all process. Although computer is a key factor here, and around this computer everything will revolve. So basically with the help of artificial intelligence, day before yesterday I have seen there was a news that in a US now they are using AI based tool. Although chat GPT is one of the things, but you must be knowing that nowadays your clean GPT was, even agri GPT is available. China has already done this exercise that when to grow, how to grow, how much seed is to be placed in the field, and that type of a mechatronics arrangement is being made with the help of artificial intelligence, and they are calling as a agri GPT as well. So basically, in order to monitor your crop when crop is standing and there may be chances of insect and pest attack, you can easily visualize. And it is basically simulation of a human intelligence process by machine. That's why there are a lot of good scope is available, and in case if we are getting some information prior to its damage, we can easily check it, and then we can use some of the remedial measures. So that's why artificial intelligence in future will come out to be of a very good solution in future as far as the agriculture is concerned. But there is also a augmented reality. You must have heard the name of AR, VR, XR, MR. AR means augmented reality. It is basically technology which superimpose a computer generated image on a user's views. If you are seeing it, then it will generate a certain computer on generated image, and this will reflect a real world. That is the augmented reality. A spatial specs is available. You might have seen at number of places people are using it, and that will provide a composite view in a real world. That is basically a beauty of augmented reality technology, and often it is used in a gaming purpose, even a education. If you see that a video games came into the picture at the time, this augmented reality was available in our country as well. But nowadays people are using for education, for training, for capacity building. And it is very easy that you can easily develop some course module based on AI system. And with the help of AR, you can easily transmit it to the farmers, because farmers will also not take any interest in case if we go for chalk stick and blackboard type of a teaching. If you will provide that type of a spatial specs to them, and then you will ask them to kindly go through it, and then definitely they will also feel some sort of interest. And that's why augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality, and extended reality will be the future as far as the education is concerned, as far as the capacity building and training is concerned. When we are talking about the word so-called B, these two technology was related to a word, that is augmented reality and artificial intelligence. But when we are talking about word B, then we have got a blockchain. Blockchain is a new technology, and where you can easily miss it. No, but in case if you apply, this is a method of recording information, and it is very difficult to be hacked by or can be changed by anybody, and even nobody can manipulate it. So it is a system, thereby you can easily convert the whole process into number of blocks, and you will have a close eyes on it. A proper surveillance will be available, and this is more efficient, transparent, and secure and sustainable solution as far as the secrecy and piracy and even a traceability is concerned. You can easily check with the help of a blockchain technology. If you see in the US, this Amazon people are using blockchain technology in order to record the different food material from a different vendors, and then finally they are bringing to their common place for the sell. And through this any different mall, they have already arranged this type of a secrecy. So easily you can find out that in case on the way is there any malpractices, you can easily check. Even your digital payment you can make. Content segregation as far as your whole system is concerned. So blockchain still has not been tried. Academically, some institute has decided that how blockchain technology can be used in our value chain management, especially in agriculture field. Second field is a very important field which will come out in our country as well. And even China has used this, that is your big data analytics. It is an advanced analytic technique against very large data. And in agriculture is the only field where a lot of data are available. Only thing is that you are supposed to have precise data, accurate data you will have to identify according to your different unit of operation. Say example, if you are going for at the time of sowing your seed. So let us see what is the quality of your soil, what is the quality of water, and what are the different implements is available. So these data will be available for one unit operation. Once your crop will be germinated and then you will irrigate, then definitely there will be some other data you will generate. So basically what is happening, you can arrange the structure, semi-structure or unstructured type of a data, and then with the help of a number of there are number of technologies available, and you can easily predict that what will happen to the after certain times. And with the help of a big data analytics, basically data is information, and information ultimately is responsible for knowledge, and knowledge is responsible to ultimately you can say that it will give you a way out, that you will have to decide what will be action. Action is required at this level. So basically with the help of data analytics, you can do this exercise. Although I am really sorry to say, not a single university, agriculture university or other universities are doing, but IIT people and NIT, number of places, they have used the big data analytics, especially for predicting and monitoring the agriculture scenario. So that's why this may be of a very good digital solution in future as well. In the word B, we have got a one more, that is a blended learning. You must be knowing that nowadays everybody is saying that we are supposed to have online education. Online education is a one thing, but in case if you combine digital learning tool with some traditional classroom, it is basically blended learning. So we will have to see that a blended learning will also come out with on a larger way in future. Next technology, digital technology across the world, C is a cyber security. In a present context, when technology has been developed, number of theft and number of hackers are available. This is true. I will not deny this. In our country as well, in every city or in a village level, nowadays it is very difficult to secure a right type of data. Even there may be chances of theft of your device, system, software, networking. Even people used to hack all of your network, and that's why China has replaced Wi-Fi with a Li-Fi. In our country, it is a Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is a wireless fidelity, but whereas Li-Fi is a light fidelity, means say with the networking modules is being supplied with the help of speed of light, that is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. So quickly that impulse will pass, and it will be very difficult to to hack by anyone. So basically what is happening, we are supposed to have right type of a cyber security in present context. Then in a C word is a chat GPT, and chat GPT has they have make a different type of impact in the throughout the world, and not only in the agriculture field but every field. It is a prompt to receive human like images, text, even videos. Today I was going through with the statement of a very famous person, and what he said coming election, our election will not be fair, because people will prepare some text and video and images of a different leaders, and they will spoil their images. So that's why chat GPT look likes that it has make a system simple and convenient and efficient, but at the same time there is a chances that it may be treated in other way. And that's why if you want to apply chat GPT or AI, artificial intelligence, a formula is coming in my mind. which has been given by Turnitin, which is one of the industries responsible to check parallelism in our education system. They have given AI plus AI is equal to AI. That is a formula they have recommended. Means artificial intelligence plus academic integrity is equal to advanced India. In case if a academic integrity is to be maintained with the help of AI, either you are using a chat GPT or Google Bard is there. Even Google is going for a new things, and they will combine the effect of chat GPT with the Bard, Google Bard, and very soon a new system which will be more efficient and convenient as compared to chat GPT will be available through the Google. That is basically already declared by the Google people. So basically chat GPT has got a number of things, and people have used through chat GPT only you can get a information, text and video. But same principle you can apply with a clean GPT or wash GPT, agree GPT. Means say if you want to wash any floor, then you can give a direction with the help of your mobile to that machine and it will start working. So that is your future. But China has already done a lot of good exercise, but it is very difficult in present context to get that newly developed technology of China. But in future, when the things will be common and when they will explore a new business market, definitely it will come to our country as well. There is one more thing that is everybody is used to say, cloud computing. It is one of the one of the technology which is there, and this term basically cloud refer to network or the internet. Cloud is not that a cloud which will give our rain, but it is this is a network or internet, or with the help of you can say this is a technology which uses a remote server, and you can store your data, you can manage your data, you can access online the different data. And it is basically what is happening in data analytics. It is a selection of data which is a difficult, and second step is the analysis of data, and third step is a interpretation of data, and fourth step is that whatever interpretation we have made, then going back to original system, and then presentation in that original system, and then finally organization. So that is basically big data analytics. So data science is one of the important thing when we are using the word data science will come up like anything. And even at a number of places and international conferences, I heard the views of a very important person working in the field of a computer science. What they said that future will be for people, and say example, any country, if they want to become a rich, so the country who is having a lot of data, he will automatically become a rich. Because earlier the country which those who are having a gold, like India के लिए कहा जाता था कि सोने की चिड़िया है. It was basically we have got a lot of gold. Then later on, some country got a different type of recognition, like your USA, because of their different natural resources. But in future, the country, the devices or company or country having a data, they will definitely become a rich. And that's why Google in present context is providing each and everything so freely. Because what is happening, that they are continuously getting, and you are being hacked by a certain things, and they are continuously getting a lot of data from you. Like Facebook, if you see everybody is pasting the things on a Facebook, so automatically what they are judging your psychology, and then they will serve you something in future according to your desire, and according to your habit, and according to your style, living style. So that's why they are collecting a data from the individual one. It is not that don't think that you are not being hacked. The person, those who are using excessive the Facebook or you can say the even WhatsApp, they are being already hacked, and each and every data these people are having. And that's why it is to be said that they are these all search engine, they are basically called as a source of data mining, where they are sorting their large data to identify pattern and relationship of your desire and your habit. And that's why it is there that we are supposed to use, and we are not supposed to give unnecessary our internal thing or our precise information to on this search engine. So that's why it has got some demerit as well in the future. But as far as the advantage is concerned, with the help of this data, you can easily analyze and then you can interpret it, and you can easily find out what will be the end result. With the help of a data science, even I have seen that a number of places, people, what they have done, they have calculated the age of their car. Means whatever status of their car, motorcycle, scooter is there. Based on this one, they can easily find out that because what is happening, you are collecting a data, then you are coding it, then you are preparing a machine learning algorithm, and that algorithm can be used as a reference source in order to monitor the system and finally predict the system. So that's why in a future, as far as the agriculture is concerned, we will have to switch on this technology. If you go through with a precision agriculture, you might have heard the name of precision agriculture. Conservation agriculture is different, and as far as the precision agriculture is concerned, it is a technology which gives an impression that right amount of seed at right time and right moment, even at right soil depth, even in a right manner, and with the help of a right system, you are supposed to sow the seed. So basically, whenever we are talking about a right mechanism in our agriculture, this technology or digital technology will offer number of things. As far as the word E is concerned, e-commerce, e-marketing, extended reality, there are number of things are available which is coming in my mind. First is a e-commerce. E-commerce means when you are interested for buying and selling any goods and service online, that is e-commerce. And nowadays everything is available. If you want any seeds, because seed business is being trapped by a private partners in our country. And in present context as well, with the help of this one, if you see Amazon and number of social media online seller are available, and number of seed industries, they are also doing their business with the help of this e-commerce. As far as the e-marketing is concerned, this is one step ahead, and it is a planning and execution of distribution, promotion, and pricing of product and services. That is a e-marketing. With the help of this concept, you can easily do the exercise and you can get a good price of your product. Enam, your electronics national agriculture market was a type of a software design based on e-marketing concept, and which was available with the help of a network environment or internet services. You can easily facilitate exchange and satisfy customer demand as per of your requirement. Extended reality, as I mentioned, I have already given augmented reality. Extended reality is this is a terminology which combines AR, VR, and MR. Means augmented reality is you are developing a sort of images in your mind, in your spatial aspects with reference to any subject. And virtual reality means you are entering inside of it. Say example, you can easily see that what is happening in a protected cultivation in greenhouse, net house, polyhouse, and walk-in 3. You can easily find out some images can be produced. If these images are available online with the help of specs, this is your augmented reality. If you are entering inside of it and you are removing some insect or you are removing some doing some interculture operation, that is a virtual reality. Means virtually you are doing something exercise. And mixed reality means where both the things, augmented reality and virtual reality, is mixed up. That is mixed reality. And extended reality is a combination of all these three things. And in future, I tell you that this will come out with on a bigger scale, and maybe possible that a lot of people will go for education and training and capacity building with the help of AR, VR, XR, MR technology. As far as the F word is concerned, F word means a Facebook. Everybody knows it. I don't want to give what the advantage and disadvantage of Facebook. If you want to post any comments, if you want to share your photograph or post link to a news or other interesting content on the web, that is your Facebook, you can say. But let us see, and why it is so freely available. There may be of some hidden agenda of this one, but I don't want to comment on the public forum. But it seems that we are supposed to be very choosy as far as the sharing some information is concerned, and we are not supposed to be biased on a particular thing whenever we are faced. sharing information on Facebook. Many times what happen when we are sharing information, it is a biased on a political ground as well. So that's why my appeal to all of you is that precisely we will have to use, and this can easily be accessed on a personal computer, even tablet, smartphones. This facility is available. One more technology which is very interesting technology on the word F is available, that is a facial recognition. If you see in number of your airport as well, Digi Yatra has been introduced by government of India. And what is Digi Yatra? In case if you have got online your boarding pass, and there is already you are supposed to embedded your identity proof, and then whenever you are traveling, let us combine on one particular platform, that is a Digi Yatra, and then you can easily pass through. Nobody will check you, and you can easily cross your all security line, because your facility and your identity along with your travel documents will be available online on this digital capturing method, and that is a facial recognition. It is a type of biometrics technology, and you can easily verify your data prior to and you can easily ignore the type of means a crowdness in a airport and number of other crowded places. So this may be a very useful technology in future. As for the word G is concerned, G always gives an impression it is a Google, a smart search engine which is available, and you can get each and every information. Means say on agriculture, all aspect of agriculture, means say what are the unit operation, क्या करें क्या नहीं करें, कैसे करें, कब करें, कैसे सरलता से करें, कैसे सहजता से करें, कैसे दक्षता पूर्ण करें. Every information on every aspect which may be of your desire to get, that is available. So that is a basically encyclopedia. It is not a reference. It is an encyclopedia, gives A to Z information of about your subject matter. That is your basically Google. Even Google has started a Google Bard. This is basically text-based task is there, just similar to AI chatbot. जो chat GBT, जो AI open industries from the US, they have designed it. And similarly, Google Bard is also decided by Google people, and it is a type of a text you can easily get information. If you put what is a conservation agriculture, immediately within a fraction of second you will get each and every information, and you can mold up. You are not supposed to copy it. This is my submission to all of you. Nowadays, even for preparation of your slides or PowerPoint projection, everything is available. Even machine learning. Interesting thing is that Amazon has produced recently AutoML, machine learning, automatic machine learning. What you are not supposed to do any coding and algorithm preparation. Only you are supposed to add data under this AutoML, and then automatically it will put your data into structure and unstructure and sequence wise, and then automatically a model will be prepared on the basis of algorithm, and then you can apply your mind, and you can see what will be the effect on my crop, at what time my crop will feel thirsty, at what time my crop will feel hungry, and what type of fertilizers I will have to provide. So that type of information is available. One more important technology which is available on the word G is a geospatial technology, GIS, GPS, remote sensing. With the help of remote sensing, you can do each and everything. Even agriculture, in agriculture, remote sensing will come up like anything, and they can easily be, you can through the vertical capturing of your crop, you can easily find out what will be the मेरी जो crop होगी वो मेरा crop के yield कितनी आएगी. And then GIS जो है geographic information system और global positioning system है, GPS है, इससे भी आप सारी चीजें निकाल सकते हैं. अगर आपका say example, many times what happen, theft is a very common at the time of harvesting of a crop. People used to keep their harvested produce in the farm itself, and there may be chances of theft. Even with the help of a GIS and GPS tagging, you can easily find out where your material has gone from your farm to next place. So that type of means safety, security and surveillance. Surveillance का मतलब होता है निगरानी. आप अपनी सारे फील्ड की निगरानी कर सकते हैं दूर से बैठे बैठे। आप यू कैन डू द विद द हेल्प ऑफ ए taking of GIS and GPS with a AI system. So that are things are available. आई वर्ड जब आता है, आई में भी एक इंस्टाग्राम अब शुरू हो गया फेसबुक की तरह, आपने देखा होगा, और वो इतना फेमस नहीं हुआ बट इट इज आल्सो देयर। एंड वन इम्पॉर्टेंट टेक्नोलॉजी ऑन आई इज द इंटरनेट ऑफ थिंग्स। आई थिंक we most of the people are from the agriculture background. You might have seen that IRI has done a good job. If you enter from the NAS campus inside of the IRI farm, then in a crossroad itself, there are 1 and 2 farm they have dedicated to the internet of things. Basically, what is the internet of things? It is the internet of everything. Rather than IoT is not related to a things, means a thing means it is a sensor, software, or other technology which is embedded into the system. But with the help of this one, you can easily get some data and you can find out. And IRI people have used this IoT technology for fertile irrigation. Means when to apply fertilizers, when to apply irrigation water, and they are getting continuous system with the help of certain sensor and software and other technology. So this will have a really a good space in future as well, and you can easily connect, and even you can transmit your data to a some subject expert in case if you are not in position to solve this problem. And then it may be useful to decide and to predict and to diagnose your system. That is a internet of things. There is also imaging technologies are available nowadays. Imaging means a wireless sensor is a imaging technology. Even your drone is a imaging technology. From the top, you are imaging something, and where you are collecting, generating, and you can create, preserve, and duplicate images according to this. If you see, drone has been widely used by photographer. But in agriculture field, I am sorry to say, people are not using drone, because with the help of drone, you can easily spray your insecticide and pesticide to certain level, and this will be only available to your insect and pest, not to your soil, and it will not spoil your soil. So there are a lot of advantages of this imaging technology and drone and other things. And as far as the word L is concerned, this has got a direct relevance in our education. And that is a basically L means a learning style. Nowadays, number of because every student has got a different type of learning capacity, and they are learning differently. So basically, you can easily absorb. There is a learning style softwares are available, which can easily find out that which students is poor as far as this particular course is concerned, and which student has got a excellent performance. So based on this criteria, you can easily judge that to which student you are supposed to give more stress, and that will come up like anything. Number of places in Western country, according to learning style only, the professor used to give the lecture, and he at initial inception, before coming to his class, what he is predicting that what is the status of a different student, because every student learn differently, and then according to the learning capacity and ability of this student, they are deciding a process and other thing, and how information can be passed out. One more thing which is coming out on a L word, that is your LLM, large language model. In a AI, in artificial intelligence, when we are saying your simple AI, when you are using a simple machine learning, here this is an NLP, neural language programming. What exactly it is doing? It is basically making a coding and then developing an algorithm and finally finding out what will be the result. But in a large language model, it deep learning is, especially when you have got a number of data, and it is very difficult to design a algorithm. So deep learning algorithm can be decided and can be designed and developed with the help of a large language model. So this will come up like anything in future. If you see that this will be a boon in our society, and people will use it like anything. And already in a Western country, LLM has been recognized, and people are translating and predicting and generating content. Day before yesterday, I have seen some video that even people have prepared a video of a former president of a US, and whereas then former president has denied I was not there in. So artificially you can easily convert. You can easily convert the things which is with the help of this one. So it has got some demerit as well. I don't want to make any comment on this here, but we are supposed to use it productively. As far as the word M is concerned, Microsoft application, I would like to urge to my all agriculture graduates that Microsoft is not available up to the level of Microsoft Word, but it has got a 6 or 7 different application. One important thing is a Microsoft Word, जिसमें हम सब टाइप करते हैं, मैटर स्टोर करते हैं. दूसरा एक्सेल है, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट एक्सेल में कम से कम 550 के करीब फॉर्मूले होते हैं, मगर it is not easy to remember all formula. Even I won't recommend, but you are supposed to know how to develop the Excel sheet, and then you can easily compare the things and you can easily interpret the things. PowerPoint, Microsoft has got a PowerPoint as well. Microsoft Teams is available, Microsoft Outlook is available, Microsoft OneNote is available, while Microsoft OneDrive is available. So basically, in case if agriculture graduates will understand Microsoft only, I am sure you can develop your future in a very nice way. Because this is the only problem I have observed, that those who are having a agriculture knowledge, but they are not having a knowledge of a digital technology. And those who are having a digital technology, they are not having a knowledge of agriculture. So there is a mismatch. So basically what we can say, we can easily decide that in case if we'll get some information on all things, Microsoft Team, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, OneNote, OneDrive. So I'm sure we will be having a good thing. N word से नेटवर्किंग आता है. नेटवर्किंग का मतलब ये कि बहुत सारे कंप्यूटर आपने कनेक्ट कर दिए और उससे आप इंफॉर्मेशन एक जगह से दूसरी जगह भेज रहे हो, और आप नहीं बता पा रहे हो तो कोई दूसरा एक्सपर्ट है वो ये बता रहा है, वो ये कह रहा है कि साहब कौन सा रूल लगाना चाहिए, इसमें कौन सा फर्टिलाइजर डालना चाहिए, इसमें क्या कमी है एट द टाइम. अभी आजकल जो फर्टिलाइजेशन की टेक्निक है वो बेसिकली एक फॉर्मूला है CBI-NW. CBI-NW, उसमें क्या, C मीन से कस्टमाइज फर्टिलाइजेशन, B मीन से बैलेंस फर्टिलाइजेशन, I means a integrated fertilization, N means a nano fertilization, and W means a water soluble fertilization. With the help of networking and with the help of AI application, you can supply, you can feed your data in terms of your preliminary measurement based on कि NPK कितना है, इसमें micronutrients कितने हैं, इसकी conductivity क्या है. You just feed this data and automatically with the help of AI tools, you can find out what will be the shape of CBI-NW, means what will be the customized fertilization recommended for your soil. What will be the balanced fertilization? Balanced fertilization means your organic and inorganic. Integrated fertilization means जिसके अंदर आपका micronutrients भी हो और macronutrients भी हो, उन सब का integration. And nano fertilization, so you know everybody that one bottle of a nano fertilizer is equal to one bag of a urea. That type of advertisement government has also released. So वो उससे आप you can save your material and even you can check destruction on your soil as well. And water soluble जो fertilizers है उसका भी आप you can easily find out. So with the help of N means a networking, and natural language processing is also there, which I have already mentioned to all of you. उसके बाद जो P word आता है, P में एक टेक्नोलॉजी है जिसको हम ये कहते हैं, कि आपने देखा होगा कि टर्निटिन ने कहा है, पैलेग्रिज्म टूल बनाया उन्होंने, और ये हमारा दुर्भाग्य है. आई वॉज गोइंग थ्रू विद some statement made by a very good professor. I don't want to quote his name, but from the University of Texas, he mentioned, he said that Indians students are, they believe in cheating in examination. That is true. And it is very common in India, everywhere. I don't want to comment on this, but basically in order to check plagiarism, Turnitin has given a number of tools. So under this P, you are supposed to know, and that's why Government of India and Ministry of Education has also mandatory made it that if you are publishing your thesis, even it should be checked with the as far as the plagiarism is concerned. So this plagiarism checker tool is also digital tool, where the information from web pages, article, blog, and books, and whatever things has been copied, it can easily detect. So there are number of tools and software online are available, And there is a need, as I mentioned, as far the academic integrity is concerned, there is a need. We are supposed to go that in case if we'll maintain, if we'll use AI tools and other Google and other things with a from the point of view of a learning, then this source will be definitely a very useful. Otherwise, if we'll copy and or if we'll make a other works as on our name, this may be reflected our poor performance across the globe. So I would like to urge to all students, in case you will get a less marks, even then we should not prefer. I remember when I did MTech from IIT Delhi, there was a open book test. And what our professor was saying, I still remember one of my important, very learned professor, Dr. N.K. Bansal, he was teaching us a solar architects topic. And what he was saying, always whenever examination is there, he was giving our question paper and copy and then saying this is examination is for 2 hours, 3 hours. After 2 hours, you are supposed to, this is 11 o'clock, at 1 o'clock, I will be available, and after 1, I will wait for only for 10 minutes, otherwise. So that type of open book test was available. But nowadays, it is, you know what is happening. That's why national testing agencies has also done they have identified some software in order to check this dragon virus as well. Because nowadays I can easily copy your computer or your desktop with the help of some software, AnyDesk, and that type of softwares are available. But nowadays some softwares are also available which can easily detect that how you can control it and how you can. As far as the keyword is concerned, QR code, if you see, it has done a 2D barcode is available, and online information you can get it. And your all processed product, which is available in the mall, it has got a QR code. It is not only reflecting the total price, but even you can easily check its quality, when it was prepared, when it will be expired. So the all information, that is a digital technology. And as far as just to improve our marketing strategy, QR code will give a right type of information. Our word gives in a robotics. Robotics is a thing which can easily do the miracle in our agriculture. If you see China, most of the organized farm in China, they are using robotics only for one application, that is a interculture operation, which is very cumbersome. आप ये देखें कि जो खरपतवार निकालने के लिए हमारे देश में जो हम करते हैं, स्पेशली लेडीज, ऑल रेस्पेक्टेड लेडीज आर डूइंग दिस एक्सरसाइज and they are losing their health as well. So here basically you can use this robotics like your what the China has used. Although this is a multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary branch of electronics and computer application, but you can easily do. You are not supposed to design and construct the robot, but you can use the robot and you can do right type of a operation, and you can control and sensory get a right type of feedback and information processing with the help of robotics. And in future, this will be of one of the very important device for agriculture, because nowadays different agriculture operation seems to be of a cumbersome in nature. अगर जैसे लैंड प्रिपरेशन है वो इतना कम्बर्शन रहता है, आप ये देखें पहले बिहाइंड द प्लाउ चलता था, बाद में ट्रैक्टर आए गए, मिनी ट्रैक्टर्स आए, पावर टिलर आए, मगर वो भी इतने कम्बर्शन रहते हैं. नाउ रोबोट विल डू दिस ऑल एक्सरसाइज एज फार एज द soil preparation is concerned, seed sowing is concerned, even irrigation, and robot can do the work which a general person cannot do. So that type of things are available. As far as the S is concerned, sensor, all type of sensor. You can easily get the information of soil, water, temperature, pH, pressure, or all engineering parameter or agriculture parameters की जितनी भी physical, chemical, biological properties हैं, वो आप with the help of sensing technology, wireless sensor भी और with wired sensor भी आजकल available, and you can easily do. The PAU along with the France government, with some institute in the France, they have developed a bin IoT. And what they did, they have that bin IoT was similar to that of your wheat seed. And then they have shown that bin IoT along with the general seed, and then with the help of their computer they are getting all information कि कब हमारी soil में पानी की कमी होगी, कब हम ये करेंगे. तो that is a basically sensing technology. उसके बाद हम वी से मैंने वर्चुअल रियलिटी के बारे में आपको बता दिया। एक वर्चुअल प्राइवेट नेटवर्किंग भी आ रहा है आजकल, कि कई चीजें हैं जो हमारा तो नेटवर्क कई बार आपने देखा होगा कि हम वो हैक हो जाता है, मगर बहुत सारे ऐसे अनक्रप्टेड कनेक्शंस आते हैं जिनको हम वर्चुअल प्राइवेट नेटवर्किंग कहते हैं। और डब्ल्यू वर्ड से जब हम आते हैं तो व्हाट्सएप है, वाईफाई है, वेबएक्स है। वेबएक्स is also a type of conferencing just like what we are using. It is a Zoom, but likewise webex is also there. And as far as the Y word is concerned, Yahoo and YouTube, these are the miracle two aspect which will has turned the scenario of agriculture. Nowadays farmers are also getting all information on YouTube, how to sow the seed, how when to harvest and how to harvest, where to keep the material. Each and every technology, all unit operations are very systematized, available on YouTube. You just put some word and you will get information. Same thing is true with the Yahoo as well. This is also service provider or search engine. With the help of this one you can also get all information. जेड का जो वर्ड आता है वो मैंने आपको पहले ही बताया कि जूम से जो हम अभी काम कर रहे हैं, ये एक ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म है जिसमें हम वीडियो मीटिंग कर सकते हैं, टीम चैटिंग कर सकते हैं, हमारे पास वेबिनार ऑर्गेनाइज कर सकते हैं, ऑनलाइन व्हाइट बोर्ड भी कर सकते हैं। ये एक्सटेंशन वर्कर के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। यानी कि एक्सटेंशन वर्कर को अगर पूरा के पूरे जगह आपको डिस्टेंस प्लेस से अगर कोई इंफॉर्मेशन भेजनी है, किसानों के पास कोई मीटिंग अरेंज करनी है, तो आपके एक जो नोडल पर्सन है गांव में, उसको आइडेंटिफाई करके एंड देन यू कैन डू दिस एक्सरसाइज। सो बेसिकली these all technology A to Z which I have mentioned, it has got a number of a application as far as the agriculture announcement is concerned. And second important task is that it has got a very good potential as far as the teaching and extension or capacity building and training is concerned. And in fact even with the help of a chat GPT, you can easily find out which particular technology and which particular device is suitable for my soil. If you are there in arid region or semi-arid region, sub-humidity region, every information you can get through which. Only thing is that you will have to utilize in a right way this information. You are not supposed to do any manipulation over this. I would like to conclude by saying one formula. This formula is again coming in my mind. IT plus IT is equal to IT. This formula was given by our Honorable Prime Minister, that IT plus IT is equal to IT. IT, information technology plus Indian talent is equal to India tomorrow. That is true. आप आज आपको लग रहा होगा कि जो मैंने टेक्नोलॉजी का नाम दिए हैं, ये A to Z जो मैंने बताया है, कई बार आपको ये ऐसा लगता है कि ये टेक्नोलॉजी हम कब यूज करेंगे, बट आई स्टिल रिमेंबर द डे व्हेन कंप्यूटर वाज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड इन आवर कंट्री, एवरीबॉडी वाज शाउटिंग एंड सेइंग कि साहब हमारे देश में कंप्यूटर की क्या जरूरत होगी। एंड नाउ everybody is keeping a computer. Even our mobile, it is a type of a computer. So likewise, the day is not far off that we will see drone and robot in a farm, our farms, and even we will use all wireless sensor in order to get information, and data will be supplied from India to USA, and we will get a right type of a remedial measure with the help of a expert sitting in the US and other places. So with this word, I would like to conclude. This is already 5:55. In case if any question, 1 and 2 question I can take, because my time is only for 1 hour. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot to all.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an insightful and updated lecture. There is one question in the chat box, sir. Sir, can you tell what kind of horticulture farming can we do in Rajasthan that will be helpful for us in future?
Yeah, horticulture may see basically in Rajasthan, people have tried pomegranate, mango is very common, guava is very common, but people have also applied the chili and other things. You can grow only all things, provided you should know the right type of a requirement, and then with the help of a greenhouse, net house, poly house, and glass house, which is available in not only in the natural convection mode, but in a forced convection mode is available up to 1 hectare, 2 hectare. You can easily draw any orchard of your horticulture crop. So that type means it is nowadays everything is so means falls within your hand. It is not that apple is the only product of a Kashmir and Jammu. You can easily grow the apple here. Only thing is that That type of environment you will have to create in a Rajasthan as well. And people have systematically done this exercise, and even a number of places people have used it, but continuously from starting from the your plantation to till the your crop will be available in the form of a harvesting stage, you will have to take care. Special precautions is to be made in order to maintain the right type of temperature, flow rate, and humidity. So you can grow each and everything. There is no problem in this case. Water security. Somebody said that as water security is there, but how we can do? Water security, I tell you, modern irrigation techniques are available. When human beings are available, can survive in a arid region and semi-arid region. So likewise, systematically, we are not supposed to waste the water. What the Israel has done, you must be knowing Israel rainfall is 30% less than that of our average rainfall of India. And they are using all the single drop of water, and they are making a judicial use of water. I have personally seen the things that this all your micro sprinklers and each and everything, with the help of a artificial intelligence, you can get an information, and then you can apply the water through the dripper just at the root zone of your plant. It is unnecessary expenditure of a excessive water in case if flooding method is to be followed. आप उसको ये देखें कि जितना पानी आपको चाहिए उसकी जड़ को उसकी स्टेबिलिटी देने के लिए, उसको एस्टेब्लिश करने के लिए उतना ही पानी दें. ऐसी मॉडर्न इरिगेशन टेक्निक अवेलेबल है. एंड नाउअडेज विद द हेल्प ऑफ ए you can say mobile, you can trace each and everything. Even IIT Jodhpur has done a good job on this case. Thank you. Is there any question?
Thank you so much, sir. That would be for
Thank
all. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
joining, sir.
Thank you.
So with this, we'll move on to our next session. The next session for host will be Preeti Vats. Over to you, Preeti.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, you're audible.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. So, good evening, everyone. This is your host Preeti. I'm here today to invite our next guest of the session, who is Professor Shailendra Singh. Before inviting sir to deliver his lecture, let me briefly introduce sir to inspire our participants. Sir is a PhD in life science botany from Agra University. He has worked with most agri-input verticals like fertilizers, seed and pesticides, and has a good insight of Indian farming practices and a practical experience of handling farmers. Sir is also a member of Zonal Institute Technology Management Committee of the Zonal Technology Management Center at Indian Agricultural Research Institute, Pusa, New Delhi. Currently associated with Zydex Industries Private Limited, Vadodara, as a Chief Operating Officer for Agribusiness Division. His skill set includes new technology development and extension, lab to field, business transformation and establishing business process management system, evolving business and customer dashboards and process architecture, training on functional competencies like sales and marketing, research and technical support, production and supply chain for effective business management. And sir has Six Sigma strategizing and implementation of DMAIC, IFSS, new products introduction, and MFSS for top line growth. So, sir, it's a great matter of privilege for us to have you here. I would like to welcome you and invite you to the podium. Shailendra, sir, are you there?
Yes, Preeti, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me well?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can hear you. Please continue, sir. Over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Just Agriculture, for inviting me and giving this opportunity to share my thoughts on some of the experience which I have. I'm sure that with my little bit of experience and today's discussion, there will be some additional information gathered by the group who is here on this session. I would share a quick presentation as well. So just let me know once you are able to see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Is the screen visible?
Yes, sir. Your screen is visible, sir.
Okay, my today's topic on which I'm going to spend some time is basically on the successful and profitable organic farming. As all of you would be knowing that there is today a lot of discussion which is happening surrounding the organic farming. The government is working, the Honorable Prime Minister is talking about the organic farming. Lot of programs which are being run by the government of India and various state governments to promote the organic farming. But question comes in most of the cases that the organic farming is somehow not gaining the momentum which it should gain. Just a couple of, as it is mentioned that I am working with the Zydex Industries. So I'll just give you a little glimpse in 1 minute what the Zydex Industries is all about, and then we will talk about the topic. So Zydex Industries is basically a multi-speciality, multi-vertical group which operates in various divisions. The basic objective of this organization is conserving limited resources through innovation for a sustainable world. And all the products and activities which are being done are in that line. He is the founder, owner, chairman, and managing director of Zydex Group, Dr. Ajay Ranka. He is basically a polymer scientist. He is well known in innovation field, and he has about 55 different patents. And he is currently heading the organization. Zydex is currently present in about 40 countries all over the world, and it has a presence in all the continents. There are four basic verticals on which Zydex is operating businesses. One is the textile, where we are making non-PVC environment-friendly ink. The road division has innovative technology for perpetual pavement, which is like the long-lasting roads in the adverse weather conditions. Waterproofing and paint, having ultra durable technology and a different solution than the existing ones. An advanced one where you have a permanent waterproofing solution and paints, exterior paints, which can last as long as about 15 years. And in agriculture, we are working on the sustainable food for all. I'll skip this. One of the major objective of the agri division in Zydex is to provide sustainable farming and providing nutritious, safe, and affordable food for all. Let's move on to the challenges in the agriculture today. I mean, before we move into the organic farming, and before we talk about organic farming, why it is required, let me take you back sometimes, early 1970s. Most of you may not be there at that point of time. But that time, if you really look at the challenge in agriculture was not what you are seeing on this screen. That time, the challenge was the sustainable food production. The challenge was to feed the population of the country. We were dependent on the import of food. But 50 years down the line, 53, 54 years down the line, when we are talking today, we are talking about the challenges in the farmer field on the soil health. Mainly the soil health when we are talking about, this is about the hardness of the soil, compactness of the soil. There is a lot of area in almost all the states which has either salinity, high level of salinity, or high level of alkalinity. And in both the cases, it is very, very difficult for the crop to grow. The organic matter, which is one of the key component in any of the soil, has gone down significantly. And in the normal condition, the organic matter content should be about 1 to 3%. But unfortunately, in the Indian soils today, the organic content has come down and it is ranging from 0.1 to 0.3 to 0.4% maximum. This is one of the reason why a lot of areas, they are seeing stagnation in the yield. They are seeing low productivity, and to improve the productivity, the farmers are using a lot of chemical fertilizers and subsequent PGRs and other inputs, which are adding to the cost. There is another major issue which is being faced by the agriculture today is the water availability. Now, when we are talking about the water availability, this is in both the terms. There is an area there where the water is not available as it is required. And in such cases, you see the picture on this slide. Such cases are there where you have the fields like this. The crop is not able to survive or sustain, and it is becoming very, very difficult to grow the crop and to ensure the income for the farmers. There is another issue which particularly if you talk about in some parts of the country this year, like Gujarat, like Rajasthan, we have abundance of water, or rather excess water. We have seen a lot of area very, where it is flooded for a long period. The crop got damaged, and the water was more than the normal, water rainfall, which is happening in most of the areas during the year. We have seen much more water coming in. Now, this is a natural phenomena. This is a climatic change phenomena. And a lot is not in our control at this point of time, but definitely if we change the way we are doing farming, if we change the way we are playing with the climate and nature, we might come to a comfortable situation, maybe another 30 to 40 years, which would be something which you guys would be able to do it. Another issue, you have seen this rising input cost, which is happening. Farmers are investing more and more money. They are putting a lot of inputs, and the input cost is also increasing. Per unit input cost, like the cost of urea, the cost of pesticides, and cost of other inputs is increasing. And it is not only the price which is increasing, but also the amount which a farmer has to use in a per unit basis, that is also increasing. Despite of all this, despite of the rising input cost, despite of the rising input quantity, the farmer is not able to increase its yield. Yields are either stagnant or are going down. Most of the agriculture universities are coming up with newer varieties. They come up with the new varieties with a higher yield opportunity and possibility. But unfortunately, any of the crop has a genetic potential, and there is an environmental condition which leads to the actual delivery of the potential. Now, in most of the cases, the potential of the existing varieties or the new coming varieties is pretty high. However, because of the adverse field conditions, adverse soil conditions, the farmer is not able to harvest the desired level of productivity. Another thing which is happening today is the food nutrition quality. I was looking at one of the data where it is mentioned that the today's nutrition quality, the level of nutrition in today's food, is 40% of what it used to be 25 years back. That means if 25 years back, you were eating one apple to get a desired level of nutrition, today you will have to eat 2.5 apples. That is the scenario. And that is not, it is not only going to increase the quantity for that, which is not feasible, which is not practically possible, because if you are eating one chapati, you cannot eat 2.5 chapatis. Or if you were eating 2 chapatis or 4 chapatis, you cannot eat 10 chapatis in that place. So we need to do something for the improving the nutritional value. the use of various pesticides and various chemicals that is leading to the toxicity in the food as well as in the environment. And we are seeing a situation where there are a lot of instances where various diseases have started coming up, which were not earlier. Now, these are all the challenges. Now, I'll take you through some of these challenges, why these challenges have actually come. So, let us go back. Let us go back about 30, 45 years back, or maybe 50 years. So early 70s, there was a concept which was introduced, which was called Green Revolution. And this concept was a very noble concept. It was the need of an hour, need of that time, and it was required. Because as I said earlier, that was the time when we were dependent as a country, we were dependent on the food import to feed our population. You might have heard in the story, or you might have read somewhere in the books that our then Prime Minister in 1965 had to appeal the public to go for 1 day, 1 time fast. And that was basically to mitigate the problem of the food availability, lower food availability. So that was the situation, and that is where the Green Revolution was introduced to the country. Now, this Green Revolution, this came with three major components. The first component was the high yielding varieties. So whatever today you are seeing as the varieties of wheat and paddy, these were two major varieties, two major crops which were focused at that point of time. And all the dwarf high yielding varieties were introduced at that point of time for the first time. And they were imported, some were developed here in the country indigenously. And continuous research has been happening on improving these varieties. This helped us to improve our productivity, which was very low at that time, and we are almost 3 or 4 times of the productivity of that time. But whatever the productivity delta which we have achieved, it was achieved only till late 90s or early 2000. From early 2000 till now, in last 20 years, there is no incremental yield advantage in any of the crop. And this is an area of concern for everybody. The second thing, which was introduced with the high yielding varieties, was the mechanization. So we had, tractors, we had the mechanical farming equipments introduced with this, and which make the farming very easy and very convenient. You just imagine one poor farmer, moving behind 2 bullocks, and he has to plow 1 acre field. He's taking 5-6 hours, or maybe full day, or sometimes few days to complete that operation. Now with the tractor coming in, he can do it in just 1 to 2 hours flat. So it became very convenient, and it was very easy, and the farmers were able to save a lot of time. The third thing which was introduced with the Green Revolution was the chemical fertilizers. So to improve the productivity, it was understood at that point of time that these chemical fertilizers or the chemical nutrition need to be given to the crop so that the crop can grow effectively and it can perform well. Now, this all was happening, and the farmers started adopting. Initially, a lot of resistance. I remember at that point of time, all this urea and DAP, without which today the farming is not possible. The farmers were being motivated, the farmers were being incentivized to use these chemical fertilizers. They were apprehensive about using it, but as they started seeing the results, as they started seeing the performance of these chemical fertilizers, they started using it. Now, with all this, for initial 10, 15, 20 years, the situation started and continued to improve. I was looking at one data at one point of time that the the ratio of the input which you are providing as chemical nutrition and you are converting that into productivity was 1:13 at one point of time in 1970s till 1980s. Now it has become 1 to 1.3. That means if you are putting one bag of urea, so you were getting 13 times the productivity, whereas now with that same urea, now you are getting only 1.3 times. So why it is happening? We will talk about that. But this also led to 2-3 different situations. As you can see in the slide here below, you will be seeing that I have mentioned reduced crop diversity. Now, at that point of time, the farmer was using various different crops in the same field. But the high yielding variety introduction was in some of the limited crops. And the productivity improved for those limited crops like paddy and wheat. Now, what was happening? That the farmer was adopting only the crops where he was getting better yields. So other crops, they started getting the back burner. Farmers stopped growing those crops. Then the second thing happened, and this is very, very interesting for you to note. With the mechanization, what happened as the tractors started coming in, the bullocks, the buffaloes, which were being used, the male bullock and male buffaloes, which were being used for the plowing of the field and for other agriculture related operations like carrying the bullock cart to transport the, the agriculture produce. They lost their relevance. Now they became a burden on the farmer because he had to feed them, and there is a cost involved in feeding, and there was not much work with them. So what happened? Those farmers who were keeping 4 to 20 animals in their with them, depending on the field size, depending on the operation requirement and all those things, they started reducing these cattle population. And if you go today in the villages, you hardly find male bullocks, you hardly find male buffaloes, and most of them are replaced by the tractors. Now, this is good or bad? It has both the dimensions. The good is that your mechanization is fast. You are now not dependent on the animals. You don't have to take care of them. You don't have to feed them continuously, even if you are working or you are not working, because you will have to put diesel on the tractor only if you are running it in the field. If it is standing, you don't have to put diesel. Whereas in the bullock, for the bullock or buffalo, you have to feed him, 365 days. So that is something which is the cost. But one side effect of that is that this reduced the availability of the farmyard manure or the gobar ki khad, what we call in a normal term, because there is a with the reduction in the cattle population, what has happened is that now the farmers do not have enough of the cow dung or animal dung, which can be converted into farmyard manure. Now what happened? The farmyard manure which was being applied to the fields by the farmers on a regular basis, this is now not being applied because it is not available. Now, what will be the impact? I'll show in the next slide. But before that, I would touch upon 2 more points. The chemical fertilizers which were introduced, they were mainly 4 major components: nitrogen, phosphorus, potash, and later on sulfur. Now, nitrogen, as you know, it is available only in 2 forms. One is the urea, or other is the diammonium phosphate. In some case, you might say that ammonium sulfate is there. Yes, but it is not in a prevalent use. Now, urea provides the nutrition or nitrogen in the form of nitrates to the plant. Diammonium phosphate or DAP provides the nutrition or the nitrogen in form of ammonia. Now, any interesting thing, and you would have, if you have agriculture background or you have studied here, you would know that any of these chemical fertilizers, they have the nutrition use efficiency ranging from 5% to 30%. That means if you are putting these chemical fertilizers in the field, the crop is able to extract only 30 up to 30% of whatever you are putting. The rest of the chemical either is leaching down and going in the water, mixing in the water and contaminating it, the groundwater, or it is evaporating, as you can see here. The third part is that it could be fixing in the soil in the form of salts. Now, as these salts will get fixed in the soil particles, this will lead to the soil compaction, as you can see it as written in the last point. Now, the crop diversity reduction, that means monocropping system approaching and coming in, the reduction in the cattle population leading to the lower farmyard manure and organic matter availability in the crop. Then, the fixing of the chemical fertilizer in the soil in the form of salts. All the three things put together, they have led to the situation which is now being seen as a soil compaction. Now, what is happening and what happens with the soil compaction? There are three pictures which you are able to see here. The first picture, if you see, what happens is, what is the compaction? Let us first understand. And if for that matter, you can look at the picture in the center. You see these small particles of the soil. Now, these soil particles, they have water and air in between them. But if these particles, they come together, and now what happens is, if you just imagine, these particles are separated by the air and water with the tractor running on the surface, with the chemical fertilizer salt fixing in between these particles. This is making this space in between the particles going away. Now, if this space is not there, the first casualty will be the water. Now, casualty of water means that the film, very thin film in the soil, between the soil particle, which is naturally available, the first impact of the compaction goes on that, and that film starts vanishing. The water starts vanishing. The second casualty is on the air. And when I'm talking about air, I'm saying oxygen. Now, what happens is, this oxygen and water, these are two very critical components for the survival of the soil biology. Now, this soil biology is these small fungus, small bacteria, small protozoa, and other microbes which help the plant to get the required and desired nutrition, either from the environment or from the soil. So what was happening? Now, let me take you back. When in early 70s, you introduced the chemical fertilizer for the first time. Whatever fertilizer was being made available to the soil or to the crop, 30% of that would be utilized by the plant, 70% will be there in the soil. Now, all this biology, which is like mycorrhiza, which is like NPK consortia, azotobacter, rhizobium, and so many other potash mobilizing bacteria, and so many other microbes, they would act on this unsoluble, unavailable form of nutrient. They will convert that into soluble form and provide it to the crop. And that is how you see the, initially when you started giving the chemical fertilizers, the productivity of the crop increased. Now, with the time, what happened, you continuously kept on giving the chemical in the soil. Now, as I said, with the salt formation in the soil, salt fixation in the soil, the space between the soil particles that started coming down, and the availability of oxygen and water went off. Now, as the availability of oxygen and water was not there, this biology which requires oxygen to survive, which requires water to survive, it starts depleting and diminishing. Now what happened? All the chemical fertilizer which you were giving, all the chemical nutrient which you were giving, and part of that was being converted by this biology. With the biology going away, now you do not have this. So that means only 30% of the nutrition which was available. Now, if you want the more nutrition to be given to the crop, you will have to add more chemical fertilizer. And that is how the vicious cycle started. So this started the vicious cycle of increased use of chemical fertilizer, because earlier your efficiency because of the microbial population was high. Now, as the microbial population started diminishing, your efficiency went down. That is the first casualty which has happened. And this led to the increased use of chemical fertilizers and also reduced nutrient use efficiency of the crop. Now, second thing, what happened? Look at the picture on the right. Well-structured soil and poor soil. You see the root zone. This root zone is going and expanding because you have enough space between the soil particles. But if your soil particle becomes compact, they do not have space in between. They are kind of fixed with the salt which has come from the chemical fertilizer. This root zone development does not happen. And the situation becomes like you see in the right side. So there is very less space and a smaller root zone. Now think of a situation. The root zone which you are seeing on the left side is going down. That means it is taking the nutrition from all this area. Now the plant's requirement for the nutrition to grow is X amount, let us say 10 grams of nitrogen. Now it was because the root zone is able to move here, the entire area. Now it can extract 10 grams of nitrogen from this. Now you move to the right side and you see here, now this root zone is just 1/3 of it. That means it will be getting only, if it was getting 10 grams of nitrogen from this root zone, it would be getting only about 3 grams. Now to replenish and to provide it 10 gram, you will have to add another 7 gram within this area, within this space. That means you need to improve the concentration, increase the concentration of nutrient in the same area. This led to the situation where you started increasing the use of chemical fertilizers, and also with the increased use of chemical fertilizer, this compaction become further more compacted. So your soil is becoming more and more and more compacted. Now these are two effects. This is not all. Let us look at the third effect. Look at the central picture. Your soil is compact. There is no infiltration of water. So if there is a water coming from the rainfall, earlier it used to go down and it used to recharge the groundwater. Now it is compact and you see this is running off. Now running off means there are two more impacts. Now one impact is that as you run off the water, along with the water, your top soil surface, which is the most productive surface, this will also go along with this water and it will go somewhere else. Second thing is your water recharge problem starts arising because your water is not going down. And this also will lead to a situation that this area will be dry, and wherever this water is going and accumulating, you will have a continuous water there, and the crop, if at all there is any crop, this will also die. So all this situation is leading to the soil compaction, and the soil compaction is impacting your crop productivity. Soil compaction is creating the problem of the water availability. The soil compaction is also creating the problem of continuously increasing the chemical fertilizer and increasing the cost, yet still it is not able to give you the right kind of yield, or the yield is not increasing. Now the story does not end here. There is another picture where I told you earlier that as the soil had the biology and it was surviving on the what you call oxygen and water. Now, nature has a very unique approach. As this biology, which was surviving on oxygen and water, it diminished because there was no oxygen. Now, there is another biology which is in the nature, which survives without oxygen and which survives only in the area where there is no oxygen. These are called anaerobic microbes. Now, these aerobic microbes, when they died, the space was created and this anaerobic microbes, they started flourishing. Now, the unfortunate part is that 80% of these anaerobic microbes, they are disease causing. Now, because they started coming in our soil, lot of incidents of soil-borne diseases started coming up. These also started attracting a lot of pests on the crop. Now, this led to a situation where you are adding more and more chemical pesticides now to control these diseases and pests. So now I hope that I have been able to explain you the situation and why this situation has come today. Now let's move on. One second. Yeah. So now what are the other factors? Whatever I have explained, if you see this slide, this is there only, that low efficiency of chemical fertilizer utilization to land degradation. Then I have explained about the nitrogenous fertilizers. I have explained about the unstable productivity and variable quality of crop produce, and more fertilizer leading to more salinity because the salt accumulation, higher irrigation cycle because the soil is compact, and faster land degradation. Now, we have talked about the organic carbon in soil is depleting, and one of the reason why it is depleting is that number one, your space in between, which was converting your crop residue to the organic matter, those biology, those microbes, they are not there. So your crop residue means the root zone and the stem of the crop which you were growing, that is not getting converted into the carbon or in the or the humus. You were supposed to provide some additional input of the farmyard manure, but because you are now, you don't have animals, so you can't provide that quantity. And in addition to that, because you are now in intensive cultivation, you are planting one crop after the other, you harvest one and plant the other one as early as possible. You don't have time for mulching, and you don't have time for doing all those various other practices which could have given addition of the carbon in the soil, like this residue mixing in the soil. Now, instead of mixing that in the soil, what you are doing is you are burning them. Now, by burning them, you are also again adding to the compaction of the soil. Then we talked about the use of crop care chemicals and why they were required, why the disease pressure started coming up, and then why we are using them. So what do we do? The question is, the answer to that is that we need to improve the soil structure by reducing the use or eliminating the use of chemical fertilizers. So now whatever has happened in last 50 years, we need to reverse this cycle. When we are talking of reversing this cycle, the critical success factor in that is again the soil. You need to add organic carbon in the soil. You need to reduce the crop care chemicals. You need to reduce the chemical fertilizer. That is where we are talking about the chemical-free farming or the organic farming. Now, the problem with the organic farming, let us understand. One of the biggest problem of the organic farming is that if today a farmer is going to shift from the current practice of conventional chemical farming to the organic farming, that means he is not using any kind of chemical fertilizer or any kind of chemical crop care chemicals. He is going to get the impact on his yield, and this yield impact is as high as 40 to 50%. And a lot of experience and lot of experiments have been conducted that it takes 3 to 5 years to recover the soil structure to provide you the optimum level of yield by organic farming, which was there in the conventional chemical farming. Now, if we look from a farmer's perspective, I'm sure a lot of you would be having a farming background. But if you really look from the farmer's perspective, can a farmer afford to survive if his yields are down by 40% for 4 years? I don't think so. I am a farmer and I know it. So what do we do? Then the government came up with the various proposals. They said, okay, what we want to do is we want to motivate the farmer to adopt the organic farming. And they started giving some subsidies and some other products and cost compensation. They also, the environment friendly people, those who want the chemical free food and all those, they started and they were ready to pay more to the farmer for the chemical free produce. But how much? And this led to a situation where the organic food became expensive. Now, the reason why the organic food is expensive is because if the farmer is shifting from chemical to organic, his yields are reduced, and to compensate his expenses and to compensate his earning, he has to sell the produce at a higher price, which in many cases is possible, but in most cases it is not happening. Because agriculture commodities are not in the farmer's hand. They are either with the business people or they are by the consumer. So whatever the consumer is willing to pay, or the middleman is willing to pay for that, that is where the picture becomes little difficult. So let us go back to the technology part. Now, to do all this, what we need to do? We need to do is address the soil physics, chemistry, and biology. Now, if you look at what are the key indicators which are required to be checked whether my soil is improving or not. So physical indicators are like soil structure. Soil structure means how much is the sand, silt, and clay combination, how much is the carbon in that. Aggregation means if it is compact or not. Porosity or aeration, whether there is enough air circulation in there. Infiltration rate is for the water. Bulk density again is an indication of the porosity. What is the water holding capacity? Means whether the soil can hold water for a longer period and reduce the irrigation. And overall, in general, the crop productivity is also an indication. The chemical indications, the pH of the crop, soil, the nutrient holding capacity, cation exchange capacity and anion exchange capacity of the plant, which happens from the soil to the plant. The availability of nutrients for the crop, how many of the soluble salts are there in the soil, which can be given as nutrition to the crop, and carbon nitrogen ratio, or what we call CN ratio. Now, the third part is the biological indicators. So how many of the micro and macro flora is there, means what is the soil biology? Now, one of the very interesting factor is that this organic matter which we are talking about, or the organic carbon which we are talking about, it has two different roles to play. One role is it acts as a food for the biology which is present in the soil. Apart from water and air, we as a human being or all the animals, they need food, and these are also animals, so they also need food, and their food is the organic matter and organic carbon. The organic carbon is also important for the nutrient exchange capacity of the soil. Now the biological activities are also need to be looked at, and the rhizosphere, which is the root zone. And root zone is not only the root structure, it has a lot of things to do. So it has tiny hairs, it has other absorption mechanism, and so many other things, and which are supported by the biology. So that means if we really want to go for an organic farming, we have, and successful and profitable and sustainable organic farming, we have to look at these basic parameters of the soil, and we have to work on how do we improve these parameters, and how do we ensure that these parameters are taken care of before we actually convert our land, our farm into the organic farm. Otherwise, it is not sustainable. Now let's talk a little bit about the physics and chemistry. The higher soil organic carbon will lead to the cation exchange and anion exchange capacity. Now, I don't want you to teach here the chemistry and the physics, but just for a reference, this is what I was talking about, the water in between the soil particles, and there is an air which is there, and this is the root hair which goes, it converts the soil from the soil particle, it takes ions and it extracts it. So air, space and water in between the soil particle is something which will lead to this situation, to an improved nutrient exchange and nutrient absorption situation. It is required to change the soil structure. Now, what does it mean? We need to eliminate the basic compaction which has come in the soil because of various activities which we have talked about. Once the compaction goes, once you are able to create the space between the soil particles, the natural force will allow the water and air to come in between those particles, and the soil will become soft and porous, and that will lead to this positive development. Now, one more thing which I would like to share with you about the soil biology. Now we are talking about that somehow we are able to create a situation in the soil, and there are good amount of soil amendments available in the market also, which allow the this soil to become soft and porous. Now there are various vermicomposts are available, various organic fertilizers and organic manures are available, even the farmyard manure of improved quality are available, which added to the soil can lead to this positive development and positive situation in the soil. Now, let me just show you a little bit on what we are trying to show here. This soil is porous, aerated, and it has good water holding capacity and organic matter. This is how we have been able to reverse the situation. Then this will have the beneficial fungus. And here I have particularly mentioned mycorrhiza because mycorrhiza is like a very interesting fungus which has a lot of activities and lot of positive developments in the subsoil which help the crop to grow. So this biology of mycorrhiza, and there are beneficial bacteria, as some of them I mentioned, the Bacillus, Azotobacter, Rhizobium, and so many other. These fungus and bacteria, they will feed on the organic matter, water, and oxygen in the soil, and they will multiply and grow. Now, what will happen? They will multiply and grow. Then there is a next level of animal kingdom is there, which is called protozoa. Now, these protozoa, they eat these bacteria and fungus and consume them, and they excrete the available nutrient. The nutrient which were eaten by these bacteria and fungus, they are consumed and excreted by the protozoa. Now, here are also the beneficial nematodes. They are also in the soil. And nematode, generally, when we listen to nematode word, we come with a negative connotation. But nematodes, only 20% of nematodes are harmful, 80% of nematodes are beneficial. Now, these nematodes also feed on this fungus and these bacteria. So, these protozoa and nematode, they excrete the nutrition. And this nutrition is in form of nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, lot of macro and micronutrients which are there. So what they do is, in the soil, from this soil, whatever is this organic matter and other fixed nutrient which are there, which are not directly available to the crop, they are converted into the available form by this group of the biology, which is available in the soil, and provide to the root zone of the crop to grow and provide this nutrition on a regular and continuous basis. Now, let me give you one more perspective here. This perspective is basically on the availability of this, whatever the macro and micronutrients are there. When you are providing the chemical fertilizer, now what is happening is this chemical fertilizers, when you are giving, it is like giving a direct injection to the plant. Now, when you are injecting something in the plant, the plant does not have a choice how much quantity of that nutrient is to be taken. Now, if you are giving more nitrogen, if you are giving more urea, you are giving more nitrate and ammonia. Now, what is happening? The plant is holding that ammonium and this nitrate in the plant itself till it is consumed. So it is overburdened. Its physiology is not normal. And that you would have seen in many cases when you are applying urea, you see a sudden greenness in the crop. Now, the problem is, as you add more nitrates, as you add more ammonia in the plant, and it is holding, it is not utilizing it fully, this also attracts a lot of pests, lot of insects who cannot survive on the plant protein. They are looking for these nitrates and ammonia to make their amino acids, and they will immediately attack on this, on the plant. So you will definitely see a spurt of pest incidence or disease incidence as you add more and more urea or DAP in the crop. When this nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium is provided by these microbes, what is happening is the plant is absorbing only whatever is required. So there is never there is an excess of any of these components. It is always a balanced supply of nutrients. And that is why the plant will grow on the optimum speed. They will not become very long. They will not become, their height will not increase significantly. And they will complete their crop cycle in a very effective way. And in that entire process, you will see a good quality of produce and a good yield also. Okay, so this is in general what I was trying to talk about, that this biofarming for improved quality and yield, these are the key parameters which are required. So that means you need to improve the soil softness, porosity, and aeration. This will lead to water holding capacity and infiltration capacity. This will allow the soils to breathe. Now, with that, you increase the soil biology and its activity. You provide higher organic carbon content. Now, this will lead to larger root zone. This white root zone you are seeing, this is mainly the mycorrhizal network, the hyphae network, which we call. And you see a lot of biology, active biology is there in the soil, which is regularly, continuously providing the required nutrition to the crop. Now, all this will lead to the conducive environment for the crop. The crop will get the natural nutrient. The crop will get the natural immunity also. So once you have lower amount of nitrates and ammonia in the plant, only which is the quantity which it is taking and converting that into amino acid, and there is no excess nitrate and ammonia in the plant, it will also repel the insects. It will not attract the insects. Now, if you have insects coming from the nearby field, you can go for some, natural pesticides or biopesticides or natural repellents like neem oil. They can be utilized, and it can be used to control all this and provide you a good high quality produce. And this will also ensure that your yield is not reduced. So this chemical free farming, this definitely is, how do we do it? That could be a question. So now let us understand that the first thing, which once, just give me 1 second. I think I have. Some technical issue, guys. It's going, okay, yeah. Okay. So how do we do it effectively? Now this becomes a question, because most of the organic farming cases we have seen where the farmer fails. So whenever you are going and planning to go for organic farming, the first and foremost thing is look at the soil. Now, to provide a good quality organic matter is the priority. That should be the first step. Now, I'm not here to talk about various products and all that. We do have. If you guys are interested, we can take it offline. But there are products which are available. There are different biodigesters available by various organizations, even by the government of India, which can accelerate the process of making the farmyard manure faster. Now, preferably, if you can access, you should look at the fungal dominated composting processes, because they will enhance the humic content and humus content in that. And because there are two ways of making, biodigesting the crop residue and the animal dung. One is bacteria based, another is fungal based. Now, bacteria, when it biodigests, its activity generates a lot of heat. And in that process, what happens is a lot of humus and humic gets converted into heat, and that reduces. So the effectiveness of that FYM, which you develop with the bacterial decomposition process, will not be as effective as you do it in case of the fungal process, because the fungus does not generate heat and it has more humic content or humus content, and that will support the soil biology and nutrient exchange, because you will have better CN ratio. Now, this is the first step. That means you need to add more and more FYM, properly digested FYM, not the lumpy ada kacha, ada pakka type FYM which the farmer is giving. And that way you can reduce the quantity of FYM also. Now, second thing is you need to use some kind of good quality soil amendments or soil improvement products, which can make the soil soft and porous. This soft and porous is important because, as I mentioned about, that we have to make soil breathing. Because unless your soil breathes, it will not hold water, it will not allow the biology to survive. Then you add various biofertilizers. Now, the starting point is usually mycorrhiza. Go for a mycorrhiza combination, which is both endo and ectomycorrhiza. This will help in better nutrient uptake, extended root zone development, and your crop growth will be much better. Then you also need to add, other nutrient which are available in the biofertilizer form. NPK consortia is there, zinc consortia is there, potash solubilizing bacteria, potash mobilizing bacteria are there, sulfur bacteria are there, iron bacteria are there. Depending on the crop, the farmer can choose any of them. With the improved water holding capacity, you can reduce the water intake, you can reduce the irrigation frequency, and also this will result in reduced mortality of the initial plant space, and also it will help in the crop development. So what are the kind of benefits you will see when you move and when you do it comprehensively? The first is you will see the impact on the germination, because your soft is soil and soil is soft and porous. You have biology there. You are not adding any of the chemicals. You are providing conducive environment for the seed to not only germinate but to thrive. So you will see a better germination. Definitely a better vegetative growth, because you are able to provide the inputs, and you are there to various biological inputs you are providing for the nutrient availability. So you will have a better vegetative growth. And mind you, I told you earlier that excess of nitrate and ammonium will not be there, so this will also add to the immunity of the plant. Less water requirement, water holding capacity will improve. You will see if there is a rain, that will be contained in the same field, and you will have less of requirement of the irrigation frequency. And obviously this will also lead to improved flowering and fruiting, where the flowering and fruiting will not drop. You will see more conversion of flower to fruit, and then fruit quality, and this will always be better. So chemical free farming, organic farming, I have just tried to give you a glimpse what it is going to deliver. It is going to deliver healthy and biologically active soil, which is sustainable, beneficial for not only for us, but our next generations. Improved quality of food, better yields, water saving. You can eliminate the chemical pesticide, thereby ultimately eating healthy food, nutritious food, and you can eliminate the chemical fertilizers, reduce your cost of production, and also indirectly reduce the burden on the exchequer, on the government of India, on the chemical subsidy. So these are some of the factors which I just wanted to share with you guys. Thank you very much for your patient hearing. My time is over, and if you have any questions, I really don't know. If you have, let us take it.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. As we can see in the chat box also, sir, this was very nice presentation and a very convincing explanation. Comments are also saying like that, and very informative, sir. So thank you so much. We are very much grateful to you. And yes, sir, there are certainly some questions in the chat box. So with your permission, shall I tell you the questions, sir?
Yes, please. Let's take that.
So, sir, there is a question from Vishwas. He's asking, sir, what is the remedy for compact soil?
Well, if I'm allowed to talk about my technology, we have a product called Zytonic technology. This is a starch-based, natural polymer-based biofertilizer combination. It can be applied in the field, and this does exactly what is required. So this is, you can Google from Zytonic and get more information. I don't want to make it a commercial session here, but definitely Zytonic technology and all the products, they actually cover all the requirements of biologicals, and So this is the claim which
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that's what you can just Google, or you can connect. You can share my email ID with the folks who are interested.
So we will share your email address, sir. So one of the question from Ravi Kumar is, sir, is the DAY-6 company open for collaboration with small to medium companies with unique organic products for organic farming?
Yes, we are always open for anything for the betterment of the farming community. We are always open.
Okay, sir. So then there is a question from Vicky. He's asking, sir, how we can start organic farming. Can you suggest some of the horticultural crops?
Yes, see, organic farming can be done in any of the crop, Vicky, whichever is the key crop in your area. Please, you can start with that. My first advice would be that start in a smaller area. Maybe start with 5,500 square meter or 1,000 square meter area, get the experience, because I don't want anybody to burn the fingers without having a complete knowledge. But yes, any of the vegetable, any of the cereal crop, whichever crop is being grown in your area, you can choose that. Start with a smaller area. That is what is the only suggestion I would give.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. So again, there is a one question like, what is the role of technology in organic farming, sir?
Oh, very big role, as you would have seen it during the presentation there, that the real problem is the lack of technology. What is happening is most of the time farmers are moving from, they're just stopping the chemical fertilizers. They start using the organic fertilizers without realizing that this organic fertilizers or biofertilizers have the real biology, and you need to provide a conducive environment for this biology to survive and thrive and then act. So first we need to work on the soil before we actually start putting the biology in the soil. So make the soil structure better, conducive for the biology to survive, and then we move to the organic. So as a first step, if you want to move, I would recommend, if your organic content in the soil is below 0.5%, you should not start 100% organic farming in the first go. You should go with 50% reduction in the chemical fertilizer in the first season, 75% reduction in the second season, and then in the third season, by that time your soil will be improved and you can go for the complete organic. So you should look at a 3-season transition period if your soil condition, soil organic content is below 0.5%.
Okay, sir. Sir, there is a question from Subarami Reddy. He's asking, sir, what is the role of certification in organic farming?
Role of certification in organic farming is basically it helps in marketing the product as an organic product. So if you have got the certificate from the government, that means your product will fetch the better price in the market. So, but the certification process is a little complicated. It requires minimum 3 years of practices, chemical-free practices, and a lot of documentation is required. So, as you move, this is always a good thing to do, particularly in the cash crops, vegetables and cereals, and the legumes and oil. This would be a good start.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, Janki is asking, how does crop cycle changes with organic farming? Would it be same as using chemical fertilizers?
Yes, the crop cycle will remain same. It will be more tolerant to the changes in the environment and climate if you are using organic, because now the environment and biology in the soil will support you. So what is happening, like if you are applying chemical fertilizer, there is a shortage of water. So this chemical fertilizer will actually have an adverse effect. Whereas in case of the organic farming, even if there is less water, your crop can still survive because you have better water holding capacity in the soil. So your crop can survive for a longer period.
Thank you, sir. Sir, there is a question from Hansika. She's asking, sir, how we can get good price for our organic produce?
Get the certification done and ensure that you don't use any chemicals.
So do we have markets, really do we have markets in the rural areas or like areas which are accessible to the medium and small farmers? Do we have markets for these kind of produce, sir?
Yes, there are certain companies who are going for collection from the small areas. However, it is always advisable because this is a business for them. So if it is a business for them, what they want is a minimum quantity should be available. So if we have only one farmer doing it and a very small quantity of that produce is available, it will always be very difficult for him to market. So one of the concept which we are promoting is the cluster based approach, where 10-15 farmers can come together, grow the quantity, and then they will get to the market. And we do have some of the companies who are like available there, and they can come up, but they have a minimum requirement of, let us say, 4-5 acres of the vegetable should be there, so that it makes commercially viable for them also to pick it up from there. So those kind of things can be done.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your patience, sir. So this is the last question from Rahul. He's asking, sir, how to approve those farmers who are getting high yield with chemical fertilizers? How to convince them?
Yeah, see, that's what I am saying. We can convince them by showcasing that their yield is not going to get decreased by adopting this new technology and moving from the chemical to organic. And that is where I am saying, start experiencing in smaller areas of 500 square meter, 200 square meter, or 1000 square meter. Showcase it to them. If you have some area, reach out to me. I will put in my team, and we will make sure that they are convinced.
Thank you so much, sir. I think we are done with the session. So thank you so much. It was an excellent session, sir. So I think our farmers as well as our participants are benefited from your session. So from the behalf of Team Just Agriculture, I thank you once again. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for allowing me to present my views. And you can share my email ID. So if anybody wants to reach out to me, we can.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Dear participants, we are waiting for our next guest to join. So we will wait for 2 to 5 minutes. So please keep the patience. So participants, I guess our next guest is not joining for today. So let's call it a day. Thank you so much for joining. We will meet again tomorrow with the new sessions. So thank you so much. Have a nice day.